Matteo Vicino in the bow seats and two-seat of the Harvard 8. And the crews are off, and it was a flying start for Yale in lane 1. They seem to have jumped everyone. What a brilliant start there. Although, as we've seen, you know, in these 8 races so far, actually, the start just gets you in it. It's all about that base pace. But to have a flying start like that will certainly put a good feeling down the crew early on.
Yeah, it feels great, doesn't it, to get off the blocks quickly and to glance across and see that you're leading. Speaking of leading, though, it's looking really good for Washington, isn't it? Washington setting an early pace here, just not, well, maybe a little bit over a bow deck, but surging in these early strokes, still in the high strokes. So you'll get a sense of when these crews lengthen into their base paydens, almost, not quite simultaneously, right? Their strategy in deciding when to settle, but you'll see them lengthen into a really powerful base, and Washington has earned the right to get their bow ahead in these early goings.
Washington up at 44 strokes per minute there. Harvard just up at 43. And California again right up there. We've got 3 crews already leading a breakaway charge here. I mean, that crew from Harvard had such a great performance at the Eastern Sprints, and they've got some really good experience on board. They've got Apostolos Ligmitros, a Greek junior, previously a Greek junior team for 21 years old. He's raced with the Harvard team for the past 3 years. Jordan Dykema again raced with Apostolos there, and they're putting in a fantastic performance so far in this early stages. There's a really nice rhythm in that Harvard boat. I really like the way Harvard row that middle half the way. It's so nicely suspended from the handle and accelerated. And if it looks as though they're starting to just chip away, almost challenged for get their bows in front on the record-setting favourites Washington in this race here.
Yeah, Washington out early, but you're right. Harvard, with that rhythm, has been able to pull themselves up a little bit closer. We see the stroke of Harvard. Just look over to get a sense of exactly where Washington lies. That's Joshua Gordon in the stroke seat for Harvard. And, well, Harvard able to get their bow just ahead.
Yeah, Harvard are flying here. They've got a really nice rhythm. Washington, again, they do this trick where they keep the rate really, really high. And having been initially skeptical when I first arrived at the IRAs, I'm now completely convinced by it as a strategy. It's worked for them so well. Looking there at the Cal squad there, stroked by Ocean James, Nat Gowden in the 7-seat, Rory Menzies, Johannes Benayan, coxed by Jake Basulto, just 20 years of age.
Yeah, they've got a fantastic rhythm, don't they? Look at the back half of the stroke, just how strong they're able to suspend into the bow and then really efficiently get out of the water and back up to the catch.
An enormous 4-seat there. Evan Gold, 21 years of age. Hopefully gold by name, gold by nature, they will hope, as they come into this A final here. But it's the crew from Harvard who are doing fantastically well to stay out in front here. Really strong rhythm. Sitting somewhat 2 seats up on the record-setting crew from UW here as they come through 1,000 meters.
Yeah, through the 1,000, of course, it is Harvard. They've been able to overtake Washington and some nearly 1 second ahead of Washington, running in second, riding now with the Huskies of Washington, who will need to have some big response if they want to get their bow just back ahead. Cal staying in it as well. Cal perhaps with a little bit of a surge. Those are our 3 leaders riding now with Cal. That rhythm working for them. Little glance from the 7th seat over his shoulder.
But I mean, it's really these front 3 medal boats have taken apart the rest of the competition here, and Harvard are just a fraction of a bow ball ahead. It's a matter of a few inches. Washington are starting to challenge them. Cal have gone early, and they've gone so well. They're sitting now just a seat down on Harvard as they come past us in the commentary box and enter that final 500.
Well, it's been a perfect season for Harvard, and they're continuing to look for perfection to end their IRA in this 8. These crews surge down. It looks like Harvard able to hold off a charging Husky, but we'll get a sense in just a moment. We see these 3 crews and California going with them, but is there enough time? Harvard holding. Will Harvard take it?
The Huskies have just gone up. The Huskies have just taken their rate up. Harvard need to go now if they want to match that challenge. I know that the Huskies have a really, really strong finish here. Cal also certainly not to be written off. They're going to be laying down the beans as they come into these final 200 meters. But Harvard have gone again. Harvard have gone again. They've gone through the gears. There's just 300 meters from the finish, and they've taken a seat off of the Huskies in just about 20 strokes. That was a fantastic push from Harvard. Cal are chasing down the Huskies, but it is Harvard who are walking again. Huskies are going to have to pull something out of the bag. They're going to have to go up again. Harvard sitting 1 seat, 1 man up as they come into this final 250 meters. They're into the red boys. I think Harvard are going to have to find another gear if they want to secure this place. It's theirs for the taking, but the Huskies are going after it. It's Harvard sitting a canvas, a seat up. You can just see their bow ball. Luca Vicino, one of the Italian twins, is just up in front. He's just looking back on that crew from Washington, but it's Harvard who have the momentum here as they're coming into this final 100 meters. It's going to take something really special from Washington to get their bows in front. And as we come into our camera at the finish line, into this final 150 meters, it is Harvard that are leading over the University of Washington, who set that record in the AB semi-final. It's super close, though. I'm not actually that comfortable calling it. It's going to come down to the line. Oh, it's going to come down to the line. That was a brilliant final surge from the Huskies. It was a brilliant final surge from the Huskies. Wow. Megan Calmer behind me calls a dead heat. We're going to have to see the photo finish. What an amazing run to the line.
Absolutely incredible. Such a good push from both of those crews. Thrilling, and that just pushed them away from California. Is it Harvard? Is it Washington? We're getting a sense now of the unofficial times, and we'll share them in just a moment. But incredible racing, stroke by stroke, punch by punch.
And if what we're seeing on the preliminary scores, and it's a win for Harvard by 0.03 of a second, and that time of 5:29.06 obliterates the record set by